What is survivorship bias? Imagine studying only successful companies and trying to copy their secrets. You read about billionaires, elite athletes, and viral creators. They all wake up at 5 a.m. They all took huge risks. They all believed in themselves. So you assume that's the formula. But here's the real question. What about the thousands who did the exact same things and failed? That blind spot is called survivorship bias. Survivorship bias is a cognitive error where we focus only on the people or things that survived a process and ignore those that didn't. Because the failures are less visible, we draw distorted conclusions based only on winners. One of the most famous examples comes from World War II. During the war, the U.S. military wanted to reinforce their aircraft. They studied returning planes and noticed heavy bullet holes on the wings and fuselage. The obvious solution seemed simple: add armor where the bullets hit. But statistician Abraham Wald pointed out something brilliant. The planes being studied were the ones that made it back. The bullet holes showed where a plane could be hit and still survive. The areas with no bullet holes, that's where hits were fatal. The military needed to reinforce the spots that showed no damage on returning planes. That insight saved lives and perfectly illustrates survivorship bias. We see this bias everywhere. In business, we read books by successful entrepreneurs and assume their habits caused their success. In fitness, we follow routines of athletes with elite genetics. In investing, we hear about the one person who made millions on a risky bet, but not the thousands who lost everything. Social media amplifies the effect. We constantly see highlight reels of success, wealth, and achievement. Failure is quieter, invisible, forgotten. And because we don't see it, we underestimate how common it really is. Survivorship bias tricks us into believing success is more common, more predictable, and more controllable than it truly is. It makes risky paths look safer. It makes rare outcomes feel typical. So next time you hear a success story, ask yourself, how many similar stories ended differently? What am I not seeing? Who didn't make it into this narrative? Because sometimes the most important data is the data that didn't survive.